Welcome back to the Cozy Cast. I'm so glad you could join us today.
And we have a really interesting topic lined up for you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Unstoppable. We're truly so happy you're here with us today.
Hi, everyone. And if you're new here, this is a space where we talk about real-life situations and help you feel more confident speaking English, step by step, without pressure.
I'm Maria.
And I'm John.
And together, we love sharing simple stories that make English feel natural, not stressful, not scary, just comfortable.
So before we begin, take a quick second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next conversation.
And tell us in the comments, what was the last thing you tried for the very first time? Was it exciting or a little scary?
We read your comments, and honestly, your stories inspire us too.
All right, let's begin today's little adventure together. Have you ever tried something for the very first time and it felt exciting, but also a little scary? Like you know you're about to step out of your comfort zone?
Oh yes, like the first time I tried cooking on my own. Total chaos. I thought I had it under control, and then the pan caught a little, attention.
Oh, wow, really? I thought I was the only one who nearly burned water once. But seriously, cooking alone for the first time felt like stepping into a whole new world.
And I bet you overthought every single step, right? Do I cut this first or boil it first?
Exactly. And that's kind of how learning English feels too, isn't it? You know the basics, but when you try to actually do it, speak, write, or even read out loud, it suddenly feels overwhelming.
Absolutely. And listeners, I know you must be thinking, wow, I feel that every day. Don't worry, you're not alone. Even small mistakes help us learn.
So, my first day cooking alone, I walked into the kitchen feeling confident. I had a recipe printed, ingredients ready, and then I realized I had no clue what half of the utensils were called.
Oh no. And what did you do?
I improvised. I mean, you can't panic when you're hungry and the clock is ticking, right? I just grabbed what I thought would work, and, well, the outcome was, let's say, unique.
Unique is one way to put it. And I think this is important for our listeners. The first attempt is never perfect. And that's okay. It's about trying, not about perfection.
Yes, and here's a tip. When you try something new in English, like speaking to someone or writing a short message, it doesn't have to be flawless. The goal is to practice, to get comfortable, and to learn from the experience.
And for beginners, even short phrases are enough. I'm cooking. I need help. This is fun. Small sentences, but they build confidence.
Back to my cooking adventure, I remember trying to chop vegetables neatly. Let's just say they didn't exactly look like the pictures in the recipe.
And that's life. And in English, sometimes our sentences aren't perfect either. But each attempt brings us closer to natural speaking.
Exactly. And I started talking to myself in English while cooking. I'm adding salt, I'm stirring slowly. It helped me practice vocabulary and sentence structure in a low-pressure way.
That's a great tip, listeners. Talking aloud about your actions, even simple ones, makes learning English feel more natural and less intimidating.
And sometimes I would pause, read the recipe again, and correct myself. No, I didn't mean that. Actually, I need to boil first, then add spices.
Self-correction. That's exactly how learning works. Mistakes are part of the journey, and noticing them helps you improve.
And here's a little challenge for our listeners. Try describing what you're doing in English right now. Just one sentence. It could be, I am drinking tea, or I am sitting comfortably.
Yes, and share it with us in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to try something new today.
And what I learned the hard way, don't overcomplicate things. I spent 10 minutes worrying about the perfect cut of onions when the goal was just to cook something edible.
And that's such an important lesson for English learners, too. Don't get stuck trying to be perfect. Just speak, write, or read, and improvement will come naturally.
Exactly. Small actions, small sentences, and small steps. Each counts. By the way, what city are you watching us from today? I'd love to hear it in the comments.
And remember, it's okay to laugh at mistakes. Cooking went wrong? Laugh. English sentence came out funny? Laugh. Humor reduces stress and keeps learning enjoyable.
And a final thought for today's first session. The more you practice, the more confident you feel. One day, chopping vegetables while saying sentences in English will feel completely normal.
And that's the goal. Comfort, confidence, and fun. Keep practicing, take small steps, and don't be afraid to try.
All right, listeners, take a moment to reflect on one thing you can do today in English while doing something ordinary. Just one sentence. That's your first step.
And remember, every small effort counts. Speak, write, or even whisper. It all adds up. You're learning, and you're not alone.
Thank you for joining us today. Try that one small sentence, share it with us, and get ready for more adventures in learning English. So, John, after my first cooking session, I remember feeling a mix of excitement and, nervousness. Like, did I do this right?
Oh yes, that feeling. And I remember my first time too. I tried making pasta and ended up with, let's just say, a very creative version of noodles.
That's amazing. And listeners, I know you're thinking, wow, I've been there too. Don't worry, it's all part of learning.
Exactly. And here's something I realized. When you try something new, mistakes are guaranteed. And that's actually good. They teach you faster than perfect attempts.
Yes, for example, I poured too much water into the soup the first time. I panicked a little, but then I learned to measure carefully. In English, it's the same. You try speaking a sentence, make a mistake, and then adjust next time.
And another tip, use reaction words while speaking English, just like I said, oh no, or wow, when cooking went wrong. It keeps conversations natural and engaging.
Totally. I remember saying out loud, "Oh, wow, that smells interesting," even when the outcome wasn't perfect. It helped me practice expressions without pressure.
And humor helps too. I said, this pasta has a personality of its own. And yes, it wasn't perfect, but it made the moment fun.
And I started noticing small wins, like I chopped onions without crying too much, or stirred soup without spilling. Every small success boosted my confidence, and the same happens in English learning.
Exactly. Listeners, try celebrating small victories in your practice. One correct sentence, one conversation, or even one word remembered. Acknowledge it.
And here's another practical tip. Prepare some ready phrases. I had simple sentences like, "I'm adding vegetables," or "I need salt," ready. It made me feel less anxious.
That's perfect. And when you're speaking English, having a few go-to phrases for daily situations reduces stress. You're prepared without overthinking.
Also, I realized pacing matters. I rushed at first, and that's when mistakes happened. Slowing down, taking a deep breath, and focusing on one step at a time made cooking and speaking English much easier.
Absolutely. And sometimes it's good to pause and self-correct. I said, no, I didn't mean that. Actually, I should add the sauce now. Reflection helps learning stick.
And listeners, engage with your environment. I talk to myself in English while cooking. I'm tasting now. I'm mixing gently. It made the practice natural, low pressure, and enjoyable.
And feedback helps. Post a sentence, share a story, or comment below. Other learners relate, learn, and support each other. Community matters.
And mistakes aren't failures, they're signals. If the soup is too salty, I adjust. If a sentence is wrong, I fix it. Every correction is progress.
And don't forget, laughing at mistakes keeps it fun. I remember spilling oil and saying, well, that's modern art. Humor reduces stress and helps retention.
And here's a quick trick for English learners. Narrate your actions in real time. I'm stirring. I'm adding salt. I'm tasting. Small sentences, big impact.
Exactly. And if you practice daily, even for a few minutes, you'll notice improvement. Just like cooking gets easier with experience, English becomes more natural over time.
And I also realized the importance of being kind to yourself. My first meal wasn't perfect, but I didn't criticize myself too harshly. Same for English. Self-compassion matters.
And another tip, mix learning with fun. Try a new recipe in English, narrate the steps, or describe your ingredients. Learning becomes natural, enjoyable, and memorable.
And even if it feels overwhelming at times, remember this: small steps, consistent practice, and a playful mindset work wonders.
And for our listeners today, try narrating one cooking activity or any simple action in English. Just one sentence, one short phrase. That's your practice for the day.
Yes, and share it in the comments. Even tiny steps encourage others, and each effort counts. Learning English, just like cooking, is about progress, not perfection.
And remember, every sentence, every word, every small action adds up. Confidence builds gradually, and mistakes are just part of the journey.
Thank you for joining us today. Reflect on your small wins, try that one sentence in English, and let's continue this adventure together. John, remember how I tried flipping the pancake the first time? Total disaster. It landed half on the pan, half on the counter.
Oh, yes. And I remember saying, no way, I can't do this. But then we just laughed and tried again.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of trying something new. Even if it doesn't go perfectly, the experience itself teaches you so much.
Listeners, think about English the same way. Sometimes you'll stumble over words or mix tenses, and that's okay. Each attempt is a step forward.
And I realized something important. Preparing ahead helps. I laid out all my ingredients before starting. Measuring, chopping, and organizing made the process less stressful.
Just like having key phrases ready in English. You know, I like this. Can I try? I think it's good. Having them handy boosts confidence.
Yes, and while cooking, I spoke out loud to myself. I'm adding sugar. I'm stirring carefully. Little sentences, but they helped me get comfortable with words and actions.
That's a great tip. And remember, listeners, repetition is your friend. Doing small actions and narrating them in English repeatedly helps embed the language naturally.
And mistakes are always learning opportunities. My pasta once stuck together like a gluey mess. I learned to stir slowly and pay attention.
And in English, sometimes sentences stick in the wrong way too. But noticing it, correcting it, and trying again is how improvement happens.
Another thing, don't be afraid to ask for help. I called a friend once. Hey, how do I chop garlic properly? Simple questions make a big difference.
And listeners, in English, asking for clarification or repeating phrases is completely normal. It's part of learning and communication.
And pacing matters. Rushing leads to mistakes, whether cooking or speaking. I learned to slow down, focus on one step at a time, and it worked wonders.
Exactly. And adding a little fun keeps it light. I said, this pancake has a mind of its own. Humor reduces tension and makes the experience enjoyable.
And here's a subtle tip for English learners. React naturally. Say, wow, oh no, yay, even in simple sentences. It makes conversation feel alive and real.
And using these reactions while practicing English aloud, while cooking, walking, or even brushing your teeth, creates low-pressure speaking opportunities.
Also, I learned to celebrate tiny wins. My first pancake wasn't perfect, but it was roundish and edible. Small successes build confidence.
And in English, every correct sentence, every time you ask a question or express yourself, that's a win too. Celebrate it.
And don't compare yourself to others. My friend's first meal looked like a professional chef's, but that didn't matter. My progress was mine alone.
Exactly. Listeners, learning English isn't a race. Progress happens at your pace, with each sentence, each conversation.
And here's another tip. Take notes on new words or phrases you use. I wrote down stir gently, flip carefully, taste slowly. Writing reinforces memory and helps in daily conversations.
And you can try using those same words in English sentences. I stir gently. I flip carefully. Simple phrases, but practice makes them natural.
And even if something goes wrong, don't overthink it. I spilled sauce once, laughed, cleaned it, and continued. English learning is the same. Mistakes are temporary.
Exactly. Mistakes teach, laughter heals, and persistence pays off. Keep speaking, keep practicing, and every day you'll feel more confident.
So, listeners, here's a small challenge. Narrate one activity today in English, using at least one reaction word. Simple sentences, small practice, big impact.
And share it with us in the comments. Your experience encourages others, and you'll notice progress yourself, too.
Remember, cooking alone was scary at first, but it became fun and empowering. English can be the same. It becomes easier and enjoyable when you practice consistently.
Exactly. Take your small steps, laugh at mistakes, celebrate wins, and your confidence will grow naturally.
John, I still remember that final dish I made. It wasn't perfect, but it was mine. That sense of accomplishment? Wow, it was amazing.
I know exactly what you mean. And, listeners, that feeling, the pride in trying, learning, and finishing, is what makes new experiences so rewarding.
And it doesn't matter if things go a little sideways. I learned to adjust, taste, and correct. Same with English. You speak, notice mistakes, and improve.
And celebrating small wins is key. That pancake that barely held together? A huge win. That sentence you said correctly today? Also a huge win.
And here's a practical tip. Repeat what you learned today in real life. Narrate, react, or explain your actions. Simple repetition strengthens confidence and fluency.
Absolutely. And don't forget to use your inner voice positively. Instead of thinking, I'm terrible at English, try, I'm learning, I'm improving. Mindset is everything.
And humor helps. I laughed at my mess-ups in the kitchen, and it made the whole process enjoyable. Laughter in learning reduces stress and makes the experience memorable.
And connecting with your environment matters too. Talk to yourself in English while doing daily tasks. I'm stirring. I'm adding spice. I'm tasting slowly. Little sentences, big impact.
Another tip? Involve others when possible. I asked a friend for advice and guidance. In English, asking questions, repeating phrases, or chatting with someone builds confidence and clarity.
And even if no one's around, self-practice works wonders. Narrate, react, describe actions, and slowly you'll notice your comfort and fluency improving.
And let's not forget pacing. Slow, steady steps help prevent overwhelm. Cooking slowly, speaking slowly, both create space for learning and reflection.
And mistakes aren't failures, they're information. My pasta stuck? I learned stirring properly. Your sentence sounds off? You adjust and improve.
And listeners, celebrate each step. That small victory, the tiny win, or a simple sentence spoken clearly, acknowledge it. Progress is built on these moments.
And a little fun makes it stick. I joked about my messy dish. Humor reduces fear of mistakes and makes practice enjoyable, even for English learners.
And always be kind to yourself. Perfection isn't the goal. Comfort, progress, and consistency are. My first meal wasn't perfect, and that was completely fine.
And same for English. Don't judge your first attempts harshly. Each conversation, each sentence is a step toward natural fluency.
Now, a small challenge for you. Narrate one activity today in English using at least one reaction word. Simple, short, and fun. It's practice without pressure.
And share it with us in the comments. Your story encourages others and reminds you of your progress too. Community learning is powerful.
And remember, trying something alone can be intimidating, but it builds independence, confidence, and skill. Cooking alone taught me this, and English learning can do the same.
Exactly. Keep speaking, keep practicing, laugh at mistakes, celebrate wins, and slowly, your comfort and confidence in English will grow naturally.
Thank you for joining us today. Reflect on your small wins. Try that tiny practice sentence, and remember, every effort counts. You are progressing step by step.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey. There's more to explore, more tips, and more gentle ways to improve English naturally.
Yes, and next time, we'll talk about another first-time experience, helping you connect English with real life, laughter, and learning. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the journey.